I'm Elisa Tinty, and this is our first podcast with the A-Team at New Beginnings Farmstead. So I think what we'll do first is we'll talk a little bit about the farm, since that's what brought us all together and created this A-Team that we love. And we'll talk a little bit about what we plan to bring to the table. So my husband and I, Egidio, we bought this farm in 2015. We were not looking for a farm, but the farm kind of found us. And we purchased the farm. It was quite a fixer-upper. And what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
You're accurate. You described it. It was quite the fixer-upper. We spent the better part of 3 weeks making it, the house, making it a little bit more in a livable condition than we were used to. There was no heat. We had to get that working, and yeah, it was definitely an adventure.
It was an adventure, a challenge for our ourselves and our relationship, but we survived it. And a year later, we actually got married here on the farm. We were the first couple to ever get married, and it's been quite an adventure. And
Yep.
that is what led us to our two friends here, who we consider family. I have Julie. Julie, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I've been coming to the farm since, I don't know, a couple of years ago, since after COVID, probably. Well, I don't know,
Probably right around 2020, I think. I think it was during COVID.
All right, maybe 2020. These guys were making maple syrup, and one day they said, come out and see what we do, and they were splitting wood, and I said, I could do that, and I got hooked. I loved it. I loved splitting wood. I loved being outdoors. I loved being away from the day-to-day life, and it was so fun and funny, and spending time here was something to look forward to. And I said, you said, I think at the end of the day, because my husband was here and my son, and they were like, we're not doing this anymore, and it's raining and it's yucky, and I said, I'm coming back. When are you doing this again? And here I am, coming back all the time.
And I think I recall your husband having a look on his face like, oh, I'm not coming back. And he was soaking wet.
It's true. It's true. And yeah, that first day we were like under a tent, and, we were splitting wood, and it was just so exciting. And there was like so much going on at the same time. And I look over at my husband and my son, and they're just like,
Yeah, I could tell.
Outside.
And the water was dripping. Where he was standing, the water was dripping right on him.
It's true.
Oh, it was terrible.
It was terrible.
And it was cold. And oh my gosh, I felt so bad for your son. He was just
I was loving it.
miserable. They were miserable.
I was loving it.
And I think I bribed your son with some cookies or something at the end.
Oh, I'm sure. That's what they look forward to, is the cookies, some kind of cookies or donuts or brownies or something coming out of this.
Yeah, got to have something good at the end.
Yeah, for real. So anyway, I love this place, and I keep coming back.
Okay. And Ryan?
Well, my story is a little longer than that. In 2016, my wife said that she wanted a barn wedding. So local to us, this place popped up, and she drugged me down here, and we pulled in the driveway, and much to the story I'm sure you'll hear down the road from Egidio, I told her, I'm not sure that this is what you're looking for. But Elisa assured us, because the first time we showed up in an ice storm, or just after an ice storm, she assured us that they had lots of projects and they were going to make this a beautiful wedding venue and would love to have us. So I thought about all the things that she had said that Egidio was going to be working on, the very lengthy dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of projects. I'm sitting at home thinking about it, and I reached back out and asked if they would like to barter for the venue. In turn, I would come down and help them make their dream a reality. And here we are in 2024. So,
And what do we always say? It would have been cheaper for you to pay the venue price.
Yeah. It
To go someplace else and pay the venue price.
Absolutely. But it's been quite the road. And from the beginning, when Egidio was reluctant to ask for help from anyone, one day I just showed up. And, Elisa had reached out and said, listen, you just need to show up and help. So I did. And the first day we tackled two major projects on the list, and that's where it began. And then it was every weekend, nights after work. We had a very short amount of time to get the venue ready for the weddings that were already planned. And in I should know this, September of 2017, I got married here and had a beautiful wedding in the field and our reception in the barn. And after that, my debt was paid and I never left.
That's right.
All of the projects that we had done to that point, it was a huge undertaking, and I loved every minute of it. I love being a part of it, the camaraderie and everything that I have learned. I didn't want to leave. I wanted to be a part of continuing to make the farm what their dream was. And that included not only the wedding venue, but also they introduced me to maple syrup and became part of that family as well. And something I never thought I would be a part of and never thought I would learn, just heard about it, seen the buckets on the trees driving down the road. And now we are fully engrossed in it. And for 3 months, 4 months a year, that's what we do, and absolutely love it. And I wouldn't trade it for anything.
I don't know if anyone ever told you this, Ryan, but when your wedding finally got here, Agidia was very sad.
Really?
Very, very sad. Yes, you were.
Aw.
Because you said he's not going to come over anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, you were.
Absolutely
Yes,
not.
you were. And we
No
were
way.
all like, Margaret and Jeff were like, no, we think like he enjoys being here and likes to be around us. And,
Why?
And you,
Why
that's
do you
what he
enjoy
kept saying.
being
Why
here?
would he want to be here?
Yeah, but why? Why do you want to? What do you enjoy about being here?
The chaos.
There's
But
a
it's-
lot of chaos.
It is.
Oh,
It is.
well, I enjoy
It's
the
just
chaos.
absolute chaos, but it's organized chaos. And
You're welcome.
at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you have the sense of accomplishment, and you can look back and see the fruits of your labor. This is coming to the farm is an outlet for me to be able to. And I've said it before. It's the world's biggest sandbox. You just come down here and you play, and we are checking one thing after another off the list. And we've built a great team. There isn't anything that we can't
That is
do.
true.
That is absolutely
That is true.
It's
That is
true.
an excellent team.
Yeah.
An A team.
That's why this is the A team. That's what we're
But you
here
have
for.
to admit that
the podcast.
in addition to checking off the list as we go, there are usually more items added.
Yes.
We're not going to finish the list.
Yeah, never. No, the list gets longer, not shorter. You
Okay.
finish one, there's two more waiting.
Okay.
Always.
Well, I'm glad you acknowledge it
Yeah.
because that's just how it is.
I recognize it.
What we do need to work on that list though, and see if we can maybe adjust the timeline of welding so it's not 98 degrees with 100% humidity.
We live in the Northeast. At some point, it's going to be 98 degrees.
We don't need to be welding that day. We could be putting
Roofing?
pipe in the ground. No, not roofing either. That's not one for 90 degrees.
Splitting wood?
My father used to say,
Okay.
"We pick the day, God picks the weather."
Well,
And what
that's
does
it.
what does our friend Julie here tell us?
Yeah, there's no bad weather, just bad clothes.
I could only take so much off when I'm welding.
Well,
We did stop him
That's
at a tank top and shorts.
Well,
When you're welding, that's
yeah. It's I wouldn't trade it for anything. The farm is a wonderful place where you can disconnect from the world that we live in and can be chaotic at any given time. Here, whether it's just a walk in the woods to check the lines or looking for trees to drag out or new trails to make, working on the equipment, you can separate yourself from all the noise. And it's a much needed relief after a long week.
and do you
and
agree?
these guys get to come home to this every night.
Yay!
Hey, good times.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. No, it all started.
I do
with-
notice that you don't call it home, you call it the farm.
Mhm.
Or do you call it home?
Do we call it home to each other or the farm?
No, you say I'm going home.
Okay.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I put on the way home. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What about to other people?
I refer to it as the farm, but I don't say, "Hey, come on over to my home."
Right, you don't say come over to my
the
house.
farm,
You don't
right.
say come over to my
Yeah,
house.
yeah, come on to the farm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we first bought it early on, and you know who you are if you're listening, you used to say, well, just because you own one doesn't mean you are one. We used to say,
That's
"Oh,
true.
we're farmers," and they're like, "Eh." Just because you own one doesn't mean you are one.
That's true. And boy, did that make me mad.
Do you feel like you're farmers now?
No.
No.
Do you?
No.
Do you?
No.
No.
Do you?
I know farmers. My wife grew up on a farm. That's farming. I mean, 4:00 in the morning till whenever you're done at night, it doesn't end. It doesn't matter.
They had
if it's-
cattle, right?
Yeah, cows, dairy cows.
Oh boy, that's work.
And it's constant go, and it doesn't matter the weather, it doesn't matter the day of the week. It is 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, and then some. And the next day, there is no relief. You get up and do it again.
Yeah, got to
At
feed the
least
cows
here,
every day, right? Every day you got to feed them.
We
Well,
choose our crazy.
Dairy cows, you got to milk them twice a day.
So
Right, we choose our crazy. What do you think? Do you feel like it's a farm?
It's a farm. Do I feel like a farmer? When I'm here, I do.
Well, you
It helps that I wear overalls.
And sometimes you have a straw in your
Right.
mouth.
I feel like I got to look the part. Come on.
Yeah.
She's got a cowboy hat.
That's
You do
right.
look the part.
Somebody's got to.
I try to wear overalls. I just get meat.
I mean, that's the thing. People come here and they want to see the whole farm experience. So somebody should be dressed like a farmer.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Not like city employees dressed like acting like they own a farm.
That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, it is a good time. It depends on the year, though. I mean, the time of year. It varies. So
And
much
it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
It's-
during
you say
maple season, I definitely feel like it's like we're farming because, like you said, it's it can be ridiculously cold. I remember tapping trees early on, just the two of us, and it was a blizzard, and it was I was beyond miserable. Do you remember that over here on over this side here?
Yeah, and
it
the
was-
thing is, in maple season, you feel what farmers feel because if the weather is bad, then we have a bad season, and that is what it's like to be a farmer. You are at the whim of whatever the weather is.
Right.
You have a good crop, you have a bad crop. It's out of your control.
and we kind of had that this year.
We did.
Not so great with the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a hayfield in the back before we leased the land to the solar company, and we tried haying it. Remember that old John Deere
Yeah.
baler we bought, and that Farm All H, and that's ridiculous.
Which field were you haying?
the
the
big
top
field
one,
in
the
the
big
back?
field.
The solar field?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yep.
Well, it used to be a hill. Did you see it when it was a hill before the solar went in?
Oh,
No.
Still a hill.
It's still a hill. Yeah.
Not like it was though when you got married there.
It's
Yeah, they didn't excavate.
yeah.
I thought they did.
No,
Huh.
it's still a hill, but it looks a lot different because it's covered with solar panels now. But
Yeah, and
better.
And the tractor we had was a small wheelbase. The tractor the last owners had that was a monster, 9
Right.
horsepower. But yeah, no,
What were you going to do with the hay?
we were gonna sell it. We did.
But actually, the previous farmer, he came in, he would
Yeah.
hay it.
They made a
And,
deal with him because it was
he
a lot
took it.
easier.
Yeah.
He had a
'Cause
big old 12 or 14
Right. This
foot
was
hay
a
barn.
dairy farm for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about. This was a dairy farm for over 100 years. And the operation just moved a few miles down the road. So they still had 200 cows. So he would come and hay the field.
Oh,
both fields, the upper and the
Yes.
lower.
oh man.
Yeah, which was a battle, by the way. That's a good story to tell. Right before my wedding.
Ooh, that's a whole. We got to save that for a different podcast
Ooh, that was
that
battle.
almost got very ugly. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That got
Yeah.
ugly. We got to put that down the
Yep.
list.
We will definitely
Yeah.
continue with
That got
that.
ugly. Yeah.
Wait, so now you're not going to tell the story?
No, you got to stay tuned. Got to come back for that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Let
that's
me
what
just say, I pulled in the driveway, and the former owner's son and Elisa looked like they were just involved in a domestic dispute. That's what it looked like.
oh yeah.
Yeah. I
Yep.
said, "Oh boy."
Yep.
Yep.
We can
She said,
talk
"Where
about
are
that.
you? Get home right now." Yep.
I can't wait to hear the story.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was interesting.
It's a good one because then my phone lit up, and I'm a crazy person because of everything that I had done to that point. So
Yep.
we'll save that one for another
Yep.
another episode.
They got some pictures, and yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was quite a day.
But there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
We run
And
into all
that's-
sorts of
yeah.
stories, and I guess that's really what this podcast is about: just sharing our stories and how much talk about the work we've done, the improvements we're making, and then possibly, if anyone who's listening or watching has suggestions on what we should be doing next, please put them in the comments.
Yeah, or if you want to hear anything more about any of the projects we've worked on, or you want to hear more of a story that you like, just let us know. But that is really part of the reason why we wanted to do this podcast, is because we've had a lot of good times and some interesting times here on the farm, and for very different people, very different backgrounds and different experiences and different opinions. And that's what we want to share.
Sounds good.
Very
All
good.
right. So I think that wraps up our first episode, and we hope that you enjoy what we would like to bring to the table. And if so, we would like you to subscribe and come back and hear some more stories.
See you soon.